Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to show you about conditional formatting and the types of conditional formatting which we can apply to any kind of data in Excel. So basically, conditional formatting is nothing but so it formats a cell based on the condition or criteria. If the condition matches the formatting which we applied, then the conditional formatting will be uh, applied to that cell. So whatever the data which we are selecting, the criteria should be matched to those condition. Then only the formatting will be worked. So in today's session, we will be looking at the types of conditional formatting, which are highlight cell rules, top bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets, and new rules, right? So let's get started with the first option, which is highlight cell rules. So here I have a sample data where we will be applying the conditional formatting rules. So whenever you are applying a conditional formatting, make sure you are selecting the entire data, right? So now let's get started with the highlight, the first option. So I've selected the entire data here, and to apply conditional formatting in the home tab, go to the style section. In the style section, you will find the conditional formatting option. Click on that and you will find a bunch of other options which we are going to discuss in today's video. And the first option is highlight cell rules. In highlight cell rules, again we have a few more options. We will be looking at each of them. So the first option is greater than, right? So greater than indicates whatever the number we specify. If the criteria matches this condition, then the conditional formatting will be applied, right? Now I'm selecting the greater than, and now I'm entering 12 here. So you can see whatever the values. So this is my condition, and if I click OK, then conditional formatting should be applied. So you can see the conditional formatting has been applied because the uh, whatever the values that are greater than 12 are marked in light red, right? So that is the conditional formatting. If you want to change the number to 10, and if you want to also include 10 here, then make it 9, right? So whatever the values that are greater than 9, all will be marked in red, right? So that is this is our criteria, and this is the conditional formatting which we are going to apply now, right? And in the same way, if you want to change the formatting background or text color here, which it is red color, right? So if you want to change it to any other color, you can use this drop down here. So yellow fill with dark yellow text, or green fill with dark green text, light red fill, red text, red border, and you can also use the custom format. So in custom format, you have few more options like fill, border, font color, font style you can change. The categories you can also update here. So if you want to select the bold font or italic, then and select the fill as any color. Let me select the green color and click OK. Now you can see the formatting has been applied here. So whatever the color which I've chosen, the formatting has been applied and the fonts has been changed to italic, right? So in that way you can use the custom format also in the conditional formatting, and click on OK. If you are happy with the formatting, you can click on OK. Now you can see the formatting has been applied, right? Based upon our condition and criteria, Excel has applied the conditional formatting to this values. Now if you want to remove the conditional formatting from this cells here, so what you can do is once again select the entire row, entire column here, go to conditional formatting, so and go to the clear. So there are two ways of removing the conditional formatting. One way is to select this clear loose, and from here you can select this option, clear rules from selected areas. Either you can use this option or you can also use this option, This will create the rules from the entire sheet, and this will create the rules from the selected cells, right? And one more, the second way is you can go to the manage rules, and from here you can click on delete rule, and the rule will get deleted, right? So there are two ways to remove the conditional formatting from the selected cells. So the easy way is to use this option, clear rule from selected cells. Now the rules have been cleared, right? So that is the first option in the highlight cell rules, which is greater than. Now the second option is less than. So, so whatever the values that are less than, let's say 15. So whatever the values that are less than 15 will be highlighted, right? It will be the conditional formatting will be applied, right? So now I'm cancelling that, and let's move to the next rule, which is between, right? So what does between indicates? So whatever the values that are between 6 to 15, those for them the for conditional formatting will be applied. Now I want to know the values between 12 to uh, 19. Now these are my criteria, these are my conditions. So based on these conditions, Excel will apply the conditional formatting, right? So if the condition is true, then the formatting will be applied here. So here also you can change the colors as your wish, or you can also use a custom format option. So uh, uh, this is how you can use the between option in conditional formatting. Now cancelling it, and let's move to the next option, which is equal to. So equal to is very simple. It will only highlight the values which are there in the cells. Because it is here, it is 10.5. We are not seeing the formatting because this condition is not correct. So that is the reason Excel is not highlighting any Excel has not applied any conditional formatting here. But if I replace this value with let's say 14, then you can see the formatting has been applied to the given condition here, right? So that is how you can use the equal to option in conditional in the highlight cell rules option. And the next option is text that contains. So these are all this the top four options are all number based, and but this option is text based, right? So what we need to do is we need to go to the second column, which is the text values. So once again I'm selecting the entire column, going to the conditional formatting, going to the highlight cell rules, and text that contains. So here, whatever the text you want to make, whatever the text you give here, that for that text the conditional formatting will be applied. So here I want to let's say uh, Pradesh. So whatever the state name that contains Pradesh, all the values will be the conditional formatting will be applied to those all those values here. So I clicked on OK, and you can see whichever state contains has Pradesh in it, all those cells have been uh, formatted, right? So that is how you can use this option. So if you want to clear this rules, then once again select the column, click on clear rules on selected cells. So that is how you can use the text that contains any value, right? And the next option is a date occurring. So for this date occurring, we need to choose the date values, not the text or numbers values, but we need to choose the date values here. So I am selecting the entire column here and going to conditional formatting and a date occurring. So date occurring is nothing but based on the conditions we have here. So what is today date? Today date is 26th July, right? So if I want to select the last 7 days data, then you can select this option and click OK. So you can see the last 7 days data has been applied. So the conditional formatting has been applied to the last 7 days, right? So that is the use of this date occurring option. So also you can change it to tomorrow. and click OK. So before that, you need to clear this rule, and then only you can apply any other rule, or you need to select the entire column, and then you can apply any other rules, right? Date occurring. So yesterday is today, 25th, right? So that's why it highlighted. And if you check it tomorrow, then 27 date will be highlighted, right? And if I select this month, entire all the days dates will be selected, uh, except the August 1st. Every date in July will be selected, right? So that is how you can use this option. So I'm clearing the rules, and let's move to the next one, which is duplicate values. So for this, we will select this duplicate values section. So I'm selecting the entire column here. Second, going to conditional formatting and select the duplicate values. So here the name indicates whatever the values that are duplicate in this column, all of them will be highlighted, right? So here, if you can see, we have repeated numbers here. 4 has repeated 2 times, 10 has repeated 2 times, 13 has repeated 2 times. So using the conditional formatting, we can highlight this values here using duplicate option. We also have one more option here, which is called unique. So whatever the values that are unique in this column will be highlighted here. Apart from the duplicate values, whatever the unique values we have, that those values will get highlighted, right? So that is the use of this duplicate values option. And that's it in the highlight cell rules. Now let's move to the top bottom rules. So in the top bottom rules, select the let's apply the first option. So here we will select the randomized numeric values. So or you can also use the numeric values, the first column you can use. So I'm selecting the entire column, going to conditional formatting, top bottom rules, top 10 items. So the top 10 items indicates whatever the numbers which are top in this column, those values will get highlighted. So if I decrease this from 10 to 9, you can see the formatting will get changed here, right? So it will only highlight the top 9 items from this column. If you increase the number, then this formatting will also get increased. Based on your selection, the formatting will be applied. So right now I'm selecting 10 and clicking on OK. So whatever the values that are uh, uh, the top in the column, all those values will be for all these values, the conditional formatting will be applied, right? So that is the main use of this top 10 items. Right now, the next option is top 10 percentage. So it is similar to the above option. So here it is based on the percentage selection. So here you can see, if I clear the rules and if I once again select this option, top 10%. So here I selected the 10%, right? So whatever the so these two numbers are the 10% of this whole column here, right? So out of this 100 column, these two values are the 10 percentage of this entire column. So that is the reason Excel has selected these two options. Now if I once again if I select the entire column, and if I change this to, let's say, 15%, then you can see that the last three values have been selected, right? So based on the percentage you give here, the values will be shifted. The conditional formatting will be applied based on the selection, based on the condition you write here, right? So that is the use of this top 10%. So 20% is nothing but out of this entire column, this is a 20% of the entire column here, right? Out of 100%, these four numbers are the 20% out of this entire 100%, right? So that is the main use of this top 10%. rule. Now the next option is bottom 10 items. This two were top 10 items. This is bottom 10 items. So based on the selection you give here, now we have 10, right? So whatever the bottom values we have here, those values will be get selected out of, from this column, whichever are bottom, right? So those values will get selected here, right? So based on your selection you make, the values, the conditions will be changing. In the same way, the bottom 10 percentage. So out of this entire 100%, these two are the bottom 10% from this column, right? So that means the least bottom 10%. This is the least from this entire column. Now, if I increase it to, let's say, 40%, you can see the formatting has changed to this 8 columns here, right? So that is how you can use this bottom 10% option. And the next option is above average. So here you can see, let me drag it. So if I apply this above average option, here you can see without any condition or criteria, the formatting has been applied, because if you observe here, the average is 10.5, right? So if you observe here, the average is 10.5. So based on this average, the formatting has been applied by Excel here. So only I selected the above average. So here the average is 10.5. So whatever the average that is above 10.5, all the values have been selected here, right? So that is the use of above average here. So here also you can apply any formatting which you want. If you want to change any background colors, you can do it from here also. So that is the use of above average. Now let's look at below average. So here you can see whatever the average that is below 10.5%, all those cells have been highlighted, right? So here this is our average 10.5. Out of this entire 20 numbers, 10.5 is the average. So whatever the numbers that are below 10.5 average, all the values have been formatted, right, using conditional formatting. Now let me clear the rules and let's move to the so this is about top bottom rules, right? So we discussed this two now. Let's move to data bars now. So for data bars, we will select the randomized numeric values. So because we have random numbers here, so I'm selecting the entire column, going to conditional formatting, and then data bars. Here we have, in data bars we have two options, gradient fill and solid fill. Both are equally same. Only the gradient will get changed here. So if I select the first option, so here you can see I selected the gradient fill option. So the basically data bars are nothing but it will visualize. It will give you a visualize. Uh, it will give you a visualized bars based on the numeric values which you have here, numeric data values which you have here. So these are nothing but bars, data visualization bars. So based on the numeric values you have here, so using that numeric values, Excel will apply this data bars here, right? So here we have three, right? Now if I change it to let's say 15, then you can see the bar has got increased. So this is completely dynamic, right? So if I hit Control Z, then it will again go back. Now here it is 1, right? Now if I make it 9, you can see the bar has got increased. So that is the main usage of this data bars here. So it will basically increase the richness of the values here using the data visualization feature. It will use the bars here. So these bars also define which number is greater than, which number is highest. So this number, looking at this bar, we can say that this bar is the highest out of all other bars, right? 18, 17, 17, right? So this all bars are higher, right? So that is why the bar length is also high. So 1 is lower and 3, 7 are uh, relatively lower than rest other bars, right? So that is the main usage of this data bars. Now you can also use the solid fill option, which is similar, but uh, the the effect will be solid. It won't be gradient. It will be plain. It will be solid, right? So that is the use of this data bars in conditional formatting. So in data bars we have only two options: gradient fill or solid fill, right? Clearing the rules from selected cells. And the next option is color scales. So color scales is also quite similar to data bars, but the only difference is here we have multiple palettes. So palettes or scales, both are similar. So if I apply this option, which is green, yellow, red color scheme, right? So what this option does is it will highlight. So based on the scale you have selected, so what was the scale you selected here? Green, yellow, red. So based on your scale, it will it will apply the conditional formatting to this column. So green indicates the highest value, right? And the yellow indicates the middle value, and the red indicates the lower value or least value. So whatever we are seeing in the green or light green, all the values are in highest number, right? All those are highest numbers, and whatever the values which you are seeing in orange and yellow and orange, those are like middle values, right? So they are less than 15, right? So here you can also apply the rules here. So you selected the formatting. Here you can manage the rules. So based on the formatting you want, uh, you you can manage the rules here, right? Right. So here you can select the rules and the format styles, whichever you want, and you can. So based on those rules, you can use this options here, right? So that is the main usage of this color scale here. So so here you can select the rules, or based on the selection you can select the rules. So here you can edit the numbers here. You can change it to percentile number, percent formula. Any values you can change. You can select the highest value, minimum value. So all these changes can be applied here. So in the same way, here we have few more color scales. So these color scales are almost same. The only difference is the scale color will be different. Here we had green, yellow, and red. Here we are having red, yellow, and green, right? So if I apply this, the highest numbers will be in red color, and the low numbers will be in green color, right? So that is the main difference here. And that is the main difference between both the scales. So here you can also select the single color, white or red colors. So here you can see you can select green, white color. So based on your selection, the rules will be applied, the scales will be applied, right? So that is the use of color scales in conditional formatting. So if I'm clearing the rules now, and the next option we have to discuss is the icon sets. So this is also similar to color scales. The only change is the icons here. So let me select the entire column here. go to icon sets and go to directional. So if I select this first option, here you can see once again the least numbers have been directed to red, right? So whatever the numbers that are low have been marked as red arrow, down arrow, right? And whatever the numbers that are higher, those numbers have been marked as above green above arrow, right? Green arrow. And the middle numbers have been marked in orange arrow, right? So that is the main usage of this icon sets, and the remaining other options are also quite similar. Only the icons will be changed, but the remaining other values will be almost same here, right? So here also you can change this, edit this rules. So based upon your formatting, you can edit this rules here. So here you can see. So currently this values are in percentages, right? But you can change it to numbers if you want. So I'm changing it to numbers, and whatever the value that is greater than 15 will be in the this green arrow, and whatever the numbers that are greater than 10 will be in yellow arrow, and less than 0 will be in red. And now if I click on OK and apply and OK, now you can see whatever the numbers that are greater than 15, right? So all the numbers that are greater than 15 are marked in green arrows, and the numbers that are greater than 10 have been marked as yellow arrows, right? And less than 10 are marked in red arrows, right? So that is the main usage of this icon sets, and also you can use this manage rules to apply your own custom rules here, right? So that is the main usage of this icon sets option. Here we have directional, shapes, indicators, ratings. So based upon your choice and preference, you can use this options here, right? You can also customize these options when going to. You can also customize these options from the manage rules section, right? So that is the main usage of this icon sets option, right? Now I'm clearing the rules here, right? And the one more option which we need to understand here is, let me select this states column and go to the new rules here. So this is the last option. So here we discussed everything. So we discussed format all cells based on their values, format only cells that contain. So all these types we discussed, right? So only thing we did not discuss is the last one. Use a formula to determine which cells to format. So using formula you can determine uh, which cells you can format, and you can apply the conditional formatting. How can you do is that? So here I have selected the states column, right? Now suppose if I want to select any one particular state using a formula. So here is how you can do it. So to write a formula, start with equal to, and type the first cell. Type the first cell in this column, which is C3, right? So that is C3 equal to. You can type any state name from this column here, right? So I'm typing Telangana. So write it in double quotations, and I'm formatting that cell which I have selected, right? I'm formatting it to this green color, and I'm changing the font to bold, right? And I'm clicking on OK and OK. Now you can see whatever the condition I have applied here, that condition has matched, right? So Excel has applied that condition based on my criteria, right? So that is how you can use the new rule option here. In the same way, if you want to, right, suppose once again I'm going to the new rule. So here once again I'm selecting the first cell here and Pradesh, Pradesh, and I'm selecting the color to yellow and okay. So here what happened is we selected only the Pradesh name here, right? So what you can do is either you can C3 equal to, instead of this just writing Pradesh, you can write it any, for example, Uttar Pradesh, or can also write Pradesh and format and select this color, background color, click OK. And now you can see the value has been selected here, right? So in that way you can use this new rule option. So to, based on the criteria you have, you can use that new rule option. In the same way you can also select the days here, so the values here. So the new rule, uh, you can also use this, like the numeric values. So here B3 equal to 10. Formatting will be below, and you can see the value has been selected, right? So that is how you can use this new rule option. In the same way you can also use, you can apply the new rule option to rest other data values as well, right? So that is how, those are the types of conditional formatting which we looked at using the sample data. So we covered highlight cell rules, top bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets, and new rules, right? So if you find the video to be interesting and if you find the video to be informative, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I hope you understood the conditional formatting. If you have any questions, queries, please comment them below. I will reply to your questions, and please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.